your PIP payments are safe. That's the most important thing you need to know this morning. If you are currently on personal independent payments on PIP, they are now going to be protected. You're not going to lose out on them. This all came about because the government wanted to save money and wanted to look at the way the welfare system worked. The welfare system is growing and growing and growing and growing and becoming less and less and less manageable, and it's dwarfing, for example, the education budget, and it's changes needed. So what they've done is they said, we're going to make you have a higher score on the PIP criteria. In fact, you have to get a 4 or more somewhere. And that means like the PIP criteria has you score 2 points if you cannot wash below the waist. You score 2 points if you cannot get dressed beneath the legs. So what we're talking about here is people who need payments and those payments not happening. So the government were not doing brilliantly on this. More and more MPs were coming out saying, we are not going to vote to support this. Our constituents, our disabled constituents cannot deal with this. So over the last week, we've had 128 Labour MPs jump on and say, we're not going to vote for this. And that number is crucial because that meant that the bill was going to lose. Keir Starmer was going to lose going into that vote. So, surprise, surprise, overnight, Keir Starmer and Liz Kendal. Liz Kendal's in charge of benefits and welfare. So she wrote a letter to all the rebel MPs saying, we're going to change this. We're going to make it a very different experience for you. We're going to keep PIP payments. You shouldn't say PIP payments. Never say PIP payments because you'll say payments twice. PIP or payments. Never say PIP payments. I can see you saying PIP payments. Don't do that. We're going to keep them for people who are currently on there. So new people coming on will have to meet the criteria, but current registrants, current payment people do not have to meet that criteria. If they don't meet it, they can still get their payment. It's difficult, it's tricky, and I'll tell you why it's still tricky, because if I'm in a car crash tomorrow, I hope, actually I'm getting married tomorrow, so doubly hope not. But if I'm in a car crash tomorrow and I lose the ability to wash below my waistline, or I lose the ability to dress myself below the waistline, I wouldn't be eligible. There's like a safety net there that this government is still taking away, I think. It also doesn't quite make sense because £1.5 billion of that saving isn't going to happen. So they've come to the welfare bill, they've come to the welfare benefits to get £5 billion a year. And this is going to cost apparently about £1.5 billion. So they're not going to get the money they wanted out of it. So it doesn't feel like it works for anyone. It doesn't save the money. It doesn't protect people in the future. Like if you reach 18, I don't know if you carry on. I mean, you become an adult. So maybe if you're 16 now and cannot wash yourself, like not being able to wash yourself, that's... If you are 16 now and cannot wash yourself below the waist, when you turn 18, you're not going to get this benefit, I guess. Anyway, that's PIP payments, but there's PIP payments. There you go again. PIP payments, not PIP payments. It's PIP or payments because the last P is payments. We also get to universal credit. Now, universal credit is an out of work benefit. PIP you get if you can work and if you can't work. So PIP you get whatever, and then there's a health top up on universal credit. And what that does is, again, supports you because you need more support, because people with physical and mental disabilities need more support. And that's going to be the same. You're not going to lose that. If you've currently got it now, you're not going to lose that. And this is a big change as well. If you would currently qualify as severe, I mean, all these words, I find them really gross, really. Like, we're people. But anyway, it's severe. If it's severe, then you can claim a new health top-up and universal credit. So if it's not severe, then you can't claim a new health top-up and universal credit. So we need to talk about the politics of this as well. Keir Starmer has now U-turned on winter fuel payments, a national inquiry into grooming gangs, and seriously U-turn on PIP payments. So this has all happened in like a month, and next week is 1 year of him being in charge. He's got 400 and something MPs. This should be the easiest year of his life. And yet, he's behind reform in the polls, massively behind reform in the polls. He's not being able to get through the bills, the laws that he wants to get through. He's having to make concessions to his backbench MPs. Oh, yeah, and by the way, there's like wars and stuff going on over there, so that's there as well. Man, it's a state. It's an absolute state. So what's happened now? What's going to happen right now is that there were 128 Labour MPs who were going to vote against this. And some of those 128 will now vote for the bill on Tuesday. Some of them will. Some of them, I was listening to one on the radio this morning, won't vote for it. The numbers really matter. Keir Starmer needs about 320 MPs to vote with him, 330 maybe, depending, to vote with him on Tuesday at about kind of 1 o'clock. If he doesn't get them, this vote fails. So he needs 40 of the MPs who said they were not going to vote for it to change their minds and to vote for it. If he gets them, this bill will pass the second reading. On it goes. Changes. We're off. It's very, very rare that a bill passes that stage and then doesn't then become law at some point. If it doesn't, the whole thing is in the bin, and that would be doubly humiliating for the government, who have said they're going to make changes to this. And it is tight. I think probably they're going to do it now. I think the number of rebels will be too small. There will be some rebels, but it'll be too small to stop it. So we've just got to think, how is this improved? If you want lots of money saved from the welfare system, if you're anti us spending quite so much money, it's not improved. But something might happen. If you want to protect people's PIPs, then that might happen. That is happening, but it's not happening for people who are new, people who become 18, I don't think, people who develop a disability in some way or another. So it feels like a fudge for everyone. I don't feel like anyone looks at this now and says, this is the welfare reform we need. We'll have to wait and see on Tuesday. There's also Stephen Timms, who's a very, very good MP and minister, is having a look around as well, and we'll see what happens there. Hey, thanks for tuning in, and have a lovely weekend. Bye.